Hello, and up for sale today, I've got a beautiful 1998 Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution. Now this is an import from the UK. Obviously it was made and assembled in Japan, but it was sold to the UK market. And that's nice because it does have a miles per hour speedometer, so it makes it a lot easier to drive here in the States. And this has been legally imported. It's now located here in Michigan and comes with a clean, clear Michigan title. So let me walk you around the vehicle. I'll show you the inside, the outside, the underside, and we'll take it for a test ride. So as you can see, this is the original color, silver, and it does have the original wheels. Interior is original, everything's original. The mud flaps are aftermarket, and the tires, obviously not original, those are brand new. So let me walk you around the vehicle. We'll start off here in the front. Now this vehicle does have gorgeous paint, but it has been touched up here and there over the years, and there are a couple panels that have been repainted and are not original, but I believe these quarter panels are original. The doors, the bumper has been repainted. There are a couple little rock chips that did not get filled in perfectly. So bumper, you know, it's a 9 out of 10 basically. Pretty decent, but from the trained eye, you can kind of see that these are two different colors, but barely, unless you're really looking close. So there's a couple different shades on here, but all in all, the paint is gorgeous, super glossy. Just had it detailed in wax and it pops beautifully. All right, headlights, fantastic shape. No oxidization, no cracks or anything in the headlights. Signals, same deal, good shape. Front grille is fantastic. Now under the bonnet here, this is the 3.5 liter V6 Myvec. Supposedly it had 275 horsepower from the factory. It's naturally aspirated gasoline, and they say it might have had even more, but it was a gentleman's agreement that we're supposed to stay at 275 horsepower, and so that's what they listed it as. Now the engine does run fantastic, like a Swiss watch, but or a Japanese watch actually. There's your VIN tag. This is a V55W VIN, which means it is a Pajero Evolution. There's your washer bottle. Radiator's in decent shape. This is all original. Cam belt was replaced at 81,000 miles, and I'll show you the service history in a minute. So that's good to go for another 40,000 miles. Oil cooler looks decent. Radiator fan. Air conditioning is charged and is working. Radiator hoses look great as well. Belts are decent. I don't see any cracking or ripping or shredding on any of the belts. I don't know if this is actually a K&N air filter, but it does have a nice clean air filter as well. Oil change was recent. It does have analog brakes, power steering. But yeah, real clean looking engine bay. Even under the bonnet or under the hood here, it's not a bonnet, it's a hood. Real good shape, no rust at all. The front bumper, the skid plate, all fantastic as well. And we will get underneath the vehicle later on in the video. But for now, we'll focus on the exterior. And again, this is a theme I've seen with most of these Pajero Evolutions. This trim piece right here gets a little faded and crusty, but it is in place and it's doing its job. But I don't know if that's something easily replaceable or not. But anyways, it's a little bit crusty. Signals are good. Again, brand new set of mud flaps, just makes it look even cooler. Now the wheels, this is probably the best one of the bunch. They are original 6-spoke aluminum alloys. Brand new set of tires as well. And we won't focus too much on the inside of the vehicle, or the wheel wells and stuff, because we'll get underneath it later, but they are in fantastic shape. A little bit of mud on there from the road, but they are beautiful. Doors, same story, beautiful shape. No rust or anything on the bottom of the doors. And these side steps, there is a little bit of wear and tear here from people getting in and out. And a small crack right here on the side step. Other than that, they're pretty decent. Now there is a small area right here where the clear coat is peeled off, or that's another layer of paint maybe, but a little blemish right there. Same story with this trim piece on the wheel flares, a little bit crusty, but rear tire, a little bit of corrosion on the inside there. All in all, not too bad. We do have a new set of brake pads, and the rotors have been turned and are in fantastic shape. Rear tail lights, great as well. I don't know what that means. It's some form of Japanese hieroglyphics. Window seals, great shape. Glass is all great all around. Rear bumper, pretty decent shape. It does have the European style hitch plug and the hitch as well. Fuel tanks right there. Now in the back, we do have your factory toolkit is in place there, untouched, which is awesome. Same deal with the factory jack, it's right there. And back seats are in decent shape. A little bit of scuffing here from everyday use in the back. Seals in great shape. The door sill pretty decent as well. Looks like we're missing some hardware on here. But all in all, the plastic's in pretty decent shape. All the trim pieces good to go. Headliner great. Door seals all good. Now it does have this protective cage back here. I guess it's to keep dogs from jumping up on the seats. I guess if you wanted to carry a dog back here, it'd probably have to be a pretty small dog. All right, moving around here to the passenger side. Fuel door, same deal. A little bit sun faded on that seal there, but the window seals all great. Glass, great shape. Small amount of corrosion on the inside of the wheel. Maybe even a little bit of the powder coating coming off right there. But they look decent from back here. Side steps on the passenger side, same story. A little bit of wear and tear from egress, ingress, whatever you want to call it, getting in and out of the vehicle. Passenger door, great shape as well. Seals all in great shape. Door jambs all beautiful. So there is a little bit of wear and tear on the passenger seat from getting in and out. And another thing that makes this vehicle super rare, I know there's only 2,500 of these ever made, but I think somebody said there's only like 50 of them made with leather in them. So these, most of them had the cloth Recaro seats. These are, I believe these are Recaros as well, but they just don't have the badging here. These are factory leather seats, and it does have also the leather door cards as well. So I think this is even more rare than most Pajero Evolutions because of the leather seats. So that's kind of cool. And let's go ahead and continue on to the driver's side. We'll take a look at the dashboard, and same story on the driver's seat. A little bit of a rip here in the side bolstering. They're just kind of a high bump to get over when you're getting in and out of the vehicle, so you tend to wear and tear that spot every time you get in and out of the vehicle. But other than that, the seats are gorgeous black leather. Footwell's in great shape. There's your pedals. Hardly any wear on the pedals. Again, only 109,000 miles. We do have, let's see, a voltage meter, oil pressure gauge, and a compass as well. Clock in the dash. We do have air conditioning, which does blow nice and cold, and an aftermarket AM/FM radio. And I forgot to show you this here. Here's some service records. A lot of service done at the Mitsubishi dealers. It looks like Cam belt was changed at 81,000 miles. So all dealer serviced oil changes, cam belt changes. Their cam belt was changed at 55,000 miles as well. So this thing was serviced at the dealer, and again, runs fantastic. So let's get the keys. All right, fires right up. No warning lights. Tachometer's working. Air conditioning's blowing nice and cold. And it idles beautifully. No ticking, no vibrations, no smoke out of the tailpipe. Runs mint. All right, let's get underneath it and then we'll take it for a drive. All right, let's start off here at the front and work our way back. There's the factory front skid plate in good shape. And speaking of skid plates, all of the factory skid plates are in place and are in great shape, dent free, so they haven't been abused. Up front here, we've got new upper and lower ball joints. Shocks and springs are original. They are functional, and there are no vibrations or clunks coming out of the suspension. So they are working as is right now, and could be replaced, but they don't need to be at the moment, but they are original. So there's your steering drop arm, tie rod, end links, upper and lower ball joints on both sides have been replaced. Dust shields are in place on all the rotors as well. And moving along here to the back, a very clean, very leak-free car. I don't see anything leaking out of the oil pan on the transmission or on the engine. It's kind of hard to see with these skid plates in place, but there's no oil anywhere. There's your front axle. Independent suspension, chassis rails looking great. There's your middle outrigger. Chassis is in fantastic shape. Did put some new hardware on these side steps, so those are in great shape as well. Moving on here to the middle of the vehicle, here's your transfer case. Again, very leak-free, nothing coming out of the front or rear seals or any of the gaskets. Transfer case is in great shape as well. Now here's your catalytic converter. And you know, this is a 25-year-old vehicle, so there is going to be some corrosion here and there, but the heat shield on the muffler is a little bit loose, a little bit crusty, but the band that actually holds it together is still all in place. And here's your rear axle, nothing leaking out of the pinion seal or out of the drive shafts. CV boots are in good shape. Again, the dust shields are all in place on the rear brakes as well. Calipers, pads, rotors, all in great shape. And this is the like 5-link or 7-link rear end or something crazy. There's all sorts of geometry going on here. Rear shocks and springs also original and are functional. No vibrations or banging or noises coming out of the suspension. And here is the driver's side chassis, center cross member, all in great shape. Okay, and while we got the tires off, let's take a look at the inside of the wheel wells. All I've did in here is freshen it up, cleaned up these mud flaps, and then sprayed new rubberized coating only where it's supposed to be sprayed. Took out the wheel liner so there's no overspray anywhere. Everything's nice and clean under here. We did new upper and lower ball joints as well. And here's a good look at all the bushings and control arms, sway bar, brake lines, analog brake lines, and all that stuff. Everything's in great shape. We got a new set of Brake pads had the rotors turned, and calipers are in great shape as well. And same story at the rear of the vehicle. The rotors have been turned, new set of brake pads as well, and we just freshened up everything. The new rubberized coating in the rear wheel wells. And I was gonna put a set of like AutoZone Duralast shocks on here, but these are OEM Mitsubishi shocks, and when I removed them, plenty of rebound left in them, and they were in great shape, so I left them original. Sway bar end links in great shape, new clips and hardware on the brake lines, bushings all in great shape, control arms all good, rear springs good, gas tank just freshened it up, just cleaned it basically, and everything's looking nice and tidy. All right, so let's take her for a ride and we'll show you all the gear changes and the acceleration and braking and all that good stuff. So let's get on it right away. Quick 0 to 60, that's 40 miles an hour. 50, you can feel that extra cam kick in, there's 60 right there. So that's, 3 seconds maybe, it's pretty good. All right, so let's go the speed limit. We'll slow her down a little bit. 60 miles an hour, cruising. No vibration in the steering wheel. Air conditioning is working just fine. I actually had to turn it down because it was so cold. Going down the road, nice and smooth. Now this is what we want to see. We got some corners coming up here. I'm not slowing down. 60 miles an hour. This thing sticks to the road. I mean, look at that. Just a real beaut. Alright. Gauge is all working, except for the fuel gauge. Fuel gauge does not work. The low fuel light does come on when the fuel gets low, but for some reason the actual needle isn't moving. Could be a fuel sending unit, could be a fuse somewhere, or just a piece of wiring, but I haven't solved that problem yet. But other than that, everything in the interior works. The voltage meter is working, oil pressure gauge is working, compass works, four-wheel drive works, and we'll get hard on the brakes here. No, I felt the ABS a little bit there, but brakes are fantastic. That was 60 to 0 in like 2 seconds there. All right, so let's get on it again. Go through the gears. Yeah, that's 40 miles an hour already. This thing is pretty quick. And then there's 60. Engine runs fantastic. Temperature staying right in the middle. And transmission shifts smoothly. No vibrations. We just had an alignment done as well after all the new front end parts.